All right, good morning, everybody. We are coming back after a lot of fixing. Yesterday, I was trying to use a new armor mod that would just give the Holy Nation a better choice for heavy armor, actually cover their legs, but still kind of look good and fit the game overall. Why are you aimless? Are you stuck? He's just dorking off. But I had to go through a couple steps to do it. My mods were kind of fighting with each other, so we don't have a full set yet on anybody, I don't think. I think this is as close as we've got. It's the heavy helmet, the heavy chest, regular pants, regular boots. We're going to get the heavy pants and heavy boots soon. But this is the Holy Nation armor we're going to be wearing from here on out. We're going to get enough to equip everyone. It'll be at least specialist grade, which is pretty awesome. Our weaponsmith switched over to using steel, so he is producing anywhere from like Mark 1 to Mark 3 swords. Well, Paladin's crosses. So we're looking at having some pretty good weaponry for now. And then we're going to have to go hunt down some more science books to use at our secret research bench in order to get all the way up to Edge. And with the mods I have downloaded, we'll actually be able to make more weapons like what the Phoenix has. We'll be looking at having May 2 weapons. So we're going to be extremely powerful. If we even get that far, though. By the time we get that far, we'll probably be running around just doing what we need to with our Edge weapons. If we take a look here, we've got all this old armor from before I got the mod working. I had to import my game to... Luckily, we haven't killed any major bosses or anything, but I had to import my game to get the patterns for these to actually spawn. And then I had to import it again to get my regular shops have more items mod working. So I think that's why all the stuff I said wouldn't despawned. When you import your game, it gets rid of that. So we're running a little lower on funds than we have been before. We lost out on a lot of money buying up that stuff and then just dropping it on the floor and losing it. But that's okay. We have so much we can sell. It's not really going to be a big problem. And I don't want to sell the actual heavy stuff. That's what I want everyone wearing eventually, so we'll make sure we don't sell that. At least try to make sure we don't. Already messing up. So that's the heavy plate armor. This is the lighter armor and the lighter boots. We're going to go ahead and go with the heavy armor for everyone. I just always prefer heavy armor in my playthroughs. And they didn't really have a great option for that in the base Holy Nation. So I think this will just be better overall for how I like to play. But as you can see, we got like 100,000 cats just from making those sales. We're not going to get a lot more profit from here on out, though, because we don't plan on selling very much of it, at least until everyone's equipped. Brecht has weapons for everybody that they can take right now. Looks like the shop's still open, so let's go sell off everybody's current weapon. And then we'll get them equipped. And we can sell off this older armor where we've already replaced some of it. We haven't gotten around to crafting chainmail yet. We'll do that once we're really close to critting as often as possible. Critting meaning there's a critical success chance with the crafting to produce masterwork. Until we're up to that point, there's not a lot of reason to craft chainmail because it takes so long. And at the end of the day, we want all masterwork gear. So we don't want to spend all that time and materials and money crafting stuff that we know we're going to throw away. Like, it's bad enough we're doing it with our armor, but chainmail takes like 70 hours a piece to make. It would just be a colossal waste of time and energy. Eventually everyone will be able to grab a Mach 3, but we'll take the Mach 2s if we have to for now. Or Mark 3, Mach 3. We're going flying. Looks like we might even have to take some Mark 1s, but that's not the end of the world. These are still so much better than what we were using before that we'll take the massive upgrade. And you gotta remember, we're gonna struggle to swing these things at first anyway. These are more like training weapons that we go cut our teeth on a bunch of bandits with. These are gonna be very difficult for some of these guys to even swing. Make sure their jobs are off. And we're just making sure they have enough food to go walking around while we go looking for trouble. We're not going to worry about recruiting anyone yet until we're able to get at least one full set of armor and the latest weapons we've got on everybody. That way we don't fall behind and we're never running around fully geared. I'd like to have everyone look like they're wearing a uniform. And part of the way we're kind of justifying the whole using science is that we're only using it for armor and weapons. We're not going to make a tech bench above level 2 outside of that research bench up there in Narcos Trap. And we're not going to use anything or research anything that requires that bench other than the weapons research. And basically the Phoenix, once we became his Paladin, gave us access to that. We convinced him that even the weapon he wields was used creating better technology, and that as long as we avoid the robotics, that it'll be okay. And he trusts us with the technology. They just don't trust the common folk, and if we're being real, he doesn't trust the women with that knowledge. So the Paladins, he let us walk into Narcos Trap without even making a fuss about it. No one cared. They didn't stop us. We walked out. We set up a research bench out there, and they just don't seem to care. And that's not something I modded in or anything. That's just how they behave when you have enough reputation with them. Well, let's go look for some bandits to knock around. That's kind of what we need right now. We're very encumbered. The strength it's going to take to swing these things is pretty high. Let's see how it looks. It's not too painfully slow. And we're definitely doing damage, which is nice. Love to see it. Where's everybody going? Oh, they're going to help over here. Yeah, we may have to turn off this whole help allies nonsense. Horse, what are you doing? Oh, man. Why is he out here? Okay, options, Gameplay. Squad AI. We are not automatically doing anything for allies right now. That seems to be what's wrong. And I need my crafters and workers to stay safe. I'm not leaving anybody to protect you, so stay your butt in the city, you dork. He's already walking right towards another wolf. Now we gotta escort Horse back because he doesn't know how to stay in the city. And then I suppose our next step's gonna also be to head up to Blister Hill. We'll want to get our new armor equipped pretty soon, but he's gonna need a while. He hasn't been crafting that set hardly at all because I had to import my game and I just haven't had the time to let him craft. I didn't want to do anything off screen except fiddling with mods, just making sure everything worked right. Once I got the armor types set up and made sure I actually had the materials after they vanished from the floor, we were able to really keep crafting and get going. Zill, are you having trouble putting stuff away? No. He's not out of materials, so what's going on? Oh goodness, I've got to stop turning his jobs off. I need somebody else to be able to go shopping there. It's obnoxious. But as long as I send her over there before nighttime, it should be okay. Ah, jeez. I wish we could put in like an order and they would just keep our stuff refilled and charge us for it. That would be pretty great. If there was ways to, or you could tell people to go shopping for things, I think that'd be a nice thing to add to Kenshi too. Just be able to say, hey, go buy this or keep this stocked. Kind of like how RimWorld does it. I've been looking at some videos for RimWorld, thinking about if maybe I want to give that a shot. Because it looks very much like Kenshi, just a little a little less graphical, if you can believe it. There's graphics are even less than this. It's more cartoony. They're just kind of shaped like pool noodles. Oh gosh, we don't want him doing that. What am I doing? Oh boy, blew through all that money already. I'm surprised we haven't ran into bandits yet. The shinobi thieves have stayed cleared out. Looks like this shop came back, oh, because of the import. Then the thieves should be back too. Maybe not. Weird. I knew it was gonna be a little froggy, but that's okay. They didn't really meant to take out that shop. They just sided with the shinobi thieves and got. A hive village in our land? Oh no. I guess I should say close to our land. I don't know how a fight with the hive would go. We don't have any problem with slavers. We practice slavery in the Holy Nation. We even buy slaves from them. This caravan would absolutely stomp us. I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure we would be driven into the mud and murdered. We're not going to take that fight and throw our lives away out here where we could get eaten by beak things. But we don't like that there's a hive so close to home. I would like to look at setting up a base soon, though. We've got enough personnel that are at least passable in combat. They're at least dust bandit quality. Everybody we've recruited at this point is a dust bandit, so they start out with some level of stats already. We're just kind of seeking out and repurposing bandits when we do a recruiting. We find people who know how to fight and give them a better reason to fight, is what I like to call it. We can hear a battle going on over there, but sounds like it's already winding down. What we really need to do is test our strength and see how we fare. What? Where are we going, guys? I also think in Kenshi 2, oh, the Garu are gonna attack us? Okay, well, it is what it is. And wolves? That's no good. Let's put the Garu between us and the wolves. No, they're still gonna come after us. That's how it is, I guess. Well, we wanted a test of strength. These animals aren't anything to sneeze at. But we seem to be doing just fine. I really don't like fighting bone dogs. They're almost a waste just because they don't have good loot or anything. It's not worth it trying to carry and sell all that crap. We're gonna make so much money through crafting. It really is nice. My last playthrough, I practically tortured myself with trying to make money and doing it in a world where the shops don't have a ton of money and I just didn't have crafters. And it just was so much harder to get the equipment we wanted, purchasing it, waiting for vendors to respawn. I really made it harder on myself, not just setting up a base and crafting. Because once you have a certain level of money, you can just hire out enough mercenaries to keep you safe enough till your base is really up and running. I also think it's something people underestimate. You can do a lot of training and toughness training manually by taking them out to the right spot and things like that, but some of the best, easiest ways to train a large group is just go out and fight stuff. Just go out and fight whatever your enemy is. So ours is in general bandits or any animals that attack people on the road. These are technically the border zone, so we're just kind of trying to push in and quell this because it used to be our territory. This either part of it used to be ours. If I remember right, the hub was Holy Nation territory. And then the Shek pushed in and started taking more ground. So we just want to clear out the bandits in this area, make it safer for our people, look at maybe recapturing it all. Come on, Circle, you can't just stand there. Ooh, the Dust Bandit tower is up here too. We could probably find some bandits to fight there. I don't think we're ready to take on somebody that strong, but we can at least go see if there's any on the outside or if we can bait any of them out here. Oh, and the best part is instead of being greedy when we turn in any kind of bounties to the Holy Nation, especially since we have the funds we need through other means, we can just play the hardcore Paladin role and just say, no, yeah, I'm just turning them in, doing my duty. Let's bait them outside their fortress instead of fighting them in it. That seems like a bad plan. Ooh, we're taking some damage though. Trevor's getting beat. Apparently one of our guys hates seeing his own blood. And now there's more bandits coming to join in. This is what we need though. We need to test ourselves and get some more combat experience for our newer members. Get some practice using these big heavy weapons. Well, while they're not heavy weapons in the game sense, relatively they require a decent amount of strength to use compared to a starter weapon. Let's get everybody patched up. We're not doing recruiting now, so these guys just need finished off. We'll take the 1,000 cats they're carrying. We'll have our leader bait them out more. Looks like that's not going to happen though. They don't want to fight out there. There we go. Looks like they can still shoot us from there. I don't want us pushing in just yet. Cut these guys down first. Trevor's struggling with that new weapon. Yeah, these new weapons are pretty heavy. They're gonna have to work up to being able to use them effectively. Let's get some of our best guys over here on the actual Dust King. Looks like we are doing this. Ooh, man, that's tough. He's gonna be a tough guy to take down. But we've got 3 of us on him. We do want to make sure this guy's not going to be any more of a problem, so we'll disarm him. Get rid of this garbage blood rum. We should be able to wrap this up pretty tidy. I just don't want these guys getting back up all day long. See, like that, I don't want to deal with that this whole time. Put down Dustin. He looks like he's doing good again. Or at least, you know, passable. Now, I'm willing to bet there's more people in here. So we'll leave me out here with the Dust King. We'll put me on hold, passive block. Just so we don't drop the Dust King. We're not really worried about these guys. Apparently we can handle the Dust King already with the equipment we've got and the people we've got, which is nice. Let's do a hold out here though. Make them come to us. Oh, there's a lot of bandits filing in from behind. We're probably gonna wrap it up and get out of here while the getting's good. I don't know if we can finish clearing this fort out. We're going a little fast here. Slow it down so we can see this. Where are you guys going? Don't chase that guy. Get back in here. Yeah, I think I was a little too worried about these guys. It doesn't seem like it's that serious. We're just so well equipped and already have had some combat experience that they're not really a problem. Oh, there's no prisoner. That's interesting. Normally there's a prisoner up here. Strange. Well, that's not a problem though. We don't necessarily need the spare recruit. Grab some food. We'll sell that crossbow, why not? We don't want any illicit drugs. It's not our style. You pick up Dustin, you pick up Trevor. Make sure everybody's mediced up and we'll get out of here. Those guys are all too injured to want to fight us. But this was good. We were able to take down the Dust King already when we were just out here kind of looking for bandits in general. We took a beating, but those were mostly our newest guys that were going down. Our main 3-4 guys barely got hurt. I can't wait to get them all in some good armor. It'll take them a while to get used to these weapons and how heavy all of this stuff is, but you're going to see their strength come up pretty quickly. 46, upper 30s. Yeah. I wonder what the strength requirement for a Mark III is. Mark III only requires 38 strength to swing properly. So yeah, they'll be up to that pretty quickly. Only our first few guys are actually pretty much there, but they'll get there. And not all of them have a full-on Mark III anyway. How are our crafters doing? You're still working. You're still working. Good, good. They're looking a little hungry though. Yeah, you're out of food. Okay. Zill, let's have you go do the shopping. We can leave your job on though. We are going to stick to cheap food and cooking it though. How are we doing on food here? We'll have Horse go ahead and buy some more. We don't want to run low on food. That's hard to recover from. Now that we've gotten some good combat experience in, it's probably time to check the weapons, upgrade where we can, sell those off, and then we'll head up to Blister Hill to see how much armor we can get equipped. Those miserable wolves are everywhere. We also need to turn this guy in. Ooh, boy. Guess it's time to fight again. Ooh, we hit that guy for 75. We are hitting hard now. And while some of us are struggling to swing these things, they still hit hard. They still do good damage. And then you got Righteous D coming in there laying it down. He's hitting fast and hard. Yeah, slavers, help us out. No, you're just gonna make a profit, jerks. You guys better not be picking up Boss Tom. I think not. No, no, I think not. That is some BS. They should not be trying to enslave the Holy Nation people. That is some complete BS. Now we got to figure out if we can even take Boss Tom into town because of the stupid way slavery works. Put him on hold. Unlock your shackles. He does not look like a slave. What a load of crap. You have food, so oh, he's gonna try and go to bed. No, you gotta stay out here, man. We're gonna have to carry him around, I think, till we can sort this out. Time remaining is 10 hours. Huh. Don't get spotted. What a load of garbage. I can't believe they were busy enslaving our dude. I have to remember that they're gonna do that even though we're literally paladins of the Holy Nation, one of the people they sell them to. Ah, scumbags, scumbags, scumbags. Ooh, High Inquisitor Setta's got the good stuff. There we go. It's kind of annoying that we're gonna have to deal with this because I don't know how the Holy Nation's gonna treat it. Typically, they're like a slave is a slave is a slave. Alright, looks like a slave is almost 0. We do need to see if we can find a plastic surgeon. Who's actually hurt? Dustin. Boss Tom is. We have to keep an eye on him, though. No, 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 no. Just sleep right there. You turd. Seems like they're not gonna bother us about it, but I have a bad feeling it's gonna come back to bite us. Let's see where the Mark IIIs stop. Probably with Circle, yep. They had even taken his weapon, those scumbags. Alright, everybody's got a Mark III weapon. We're gonna pick up Boss Tom just in case. He's got 93 hours. I think I need to hit a way station. That will let me find a surgeon. So let's go up to Blister Hill, see what armor we can get for everybody. And then we'll go from there. You're still working. Aimless. Are you having trouble putting armor away? Yeah, unfortunately, when they make different kinds of armor, they start to struggle to put stuff away. Once we have a set for everybody, I'll probably have it make just a bunch of helmets, then a bunch of pants, and so forth. They tend to be able to put the equipment away better that way, even though it's not really what you want to be doing. Let's see here. How many paladins do we have? 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, yeah, we've probably got enough gear for everybody. Excellent. We'll double check and make sure, but if we do, we'll get him switched over to like just making chest plates or just making helmets, something like that. It's pretty nice knowing we've already taken out the Dust Bandit. The next target would be the Black Dragon Ninjas, and going through all the cities and making sure the thieves don't make it out alive. Then we can start pushing up for Flotsam Ninjas. I think that's going to be a much tougher fight, though. If I remember right, they're going to be very skilled. So we're going to have to be careful about that one. It's really not good carrying Boss Tom around because he's not getting his strength training. We're just going to do it when we're headed into a city, though. There's not really much other option. Zill, you need to sell stuff. And not that stuff. Sell the regular stuff you had. Or did we already do that? We already did that. Yikes, okay. So we're gonna wait to sell anything here. We're gonna lock the door. Put down Boss Tom and let's gear everybody up. Oh, that's sick. It's even recoloring it. We've already got so many masterwork pieces. It's nice. Do we have any masterwork heavy boots yet? Nope, doesn't look like it. But that's okay. Oh, no, there they are. So this is what we're looking at fully geared. That's pretty sick. We very much look like the most elite unit of the Holy Nation. I'm digging that a lot. And then we won't worry about hunting down masterwork for anybody else right now, just so we can get geared up and get moving. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Because I'm going to have them sell their own stuff, just to keep it simple. Okay, we're still going to have to drag and drop it while we're equipping, but that's fine. I was gonna say, I could have sworn we had enough for everybody when I looked through this. So that means, Zill, we gotta change what you're working on. We're gonna do just armor for a while. We're making a pretty penny selling off our old gear too. This will help us keep funding the crafting. And then from here, we can just sell anything that isn't masterwork, honestly. It does look like because we're the leader, it got recolored, which is pretty cool. So now that everyone's in their good armor, still got food. Let's head to a way station, see if we can get our hair fixed, and see if we can get more science books. Actually, what we need are AI cores, so we need to think about where we can get those. I wish we could cap our acid resistance, but 80% is still better than nothing. Now we look like an army. That's good stuff. So for AI cores, it's mostly going to be buying maps or just checking areas we know have a lot of science and going across the map. The problem with that is going across the map is very dangerous. And we don't want to craft our own AI cores. That's just getting too much into the robotics stuff that we said we wouldn't do. So we're going to have to actually go and hunt them down. And we're not going to be pushing into the Ashlands anytime soon. So that mostly means these, like Leviathan Coast, the Iron Trail, Forbidden Isle, things like that. We also could go down and fight the fish people, the gurglers, but they're going to be dangerous. It is going to be nice seeing their strength come up higher. We're up over 30s for a lot of them. Their encumbrance is helping get their strength up, but it's not that much. I'm hoping that because they're using their heavy weapons, we'll see a pretty decent improvement when we're in combat. but we're just going to let that improve over time. If we get a large batch of fresh recruits, we might worry about getting their strength going. We might figure out a way to do that to improve on it, but right now we've got just recruits that probably don't need it. Especially with him out front leading the way. He is just chopping fools with no problem. Get up here and get these crossbow guys out of the way. Ooh, that guy lost an arm. Yeah, this heavy armor is going to keep us safe and make us take a lot less damage. Whereas these weapons are just removing limbs. The equipment goes a long way. Swinging slower for some of these guys does suck, but we've also got decent numbers to where we can kind of go at people at the same time. And we're not taking very much damage from all these random hits. Seems like we've got a heck of a fighting force already, just from the equipment. This one guy wants to fight, we'll let him fight. Ooh, this is a shinobi thief, a wandering assassin. We could put him to good use. He came after us. It would just be a waste to fight someone this skilled and not try to put them to better use. Well, that changes the plan slightly. We barely even left home, but we want to get him back and indoctrinated. I wasn't going to go after anyone this tough on purpose, but we were able to defeat him, and now we're going to recruit him. I know we just geared everyone up, but a recruit of that quality, if we can get him to join our side, is excellent to have. We'll have to get him some armor too. I need to probably put a cage at Blister Hill because armor is more important to put on them than a weapon. Brecht is sitting here doing nothing. He's out of steel. horse. Let's get him some steel. And we'll sell what we have that isn't Mark III, since we're consistently getting Mark III now. Didn't want to have to drag and drop, but it is what it is. I don't want to sit here and fiddle with that forever. We were trying to be done gearing up for a bit. That put us back up a decent amount on money. Let's get this guy put in here. Oh no, he's a dirty bug. I didn't even think to look. I didn't even think to look. A bugga wandering assassin. We're just gonna get rid of the evidence on that. Bye, have a good time. Screw you. Oh man. What a waste. That's a bummer. Alright, let's go buy some food just for them. That isn't coming out of our food stores. Oh, he's already got so much food. Everybody's got so much food. Alright, now we can head out. Well, if we're after AI cores, there's nowhere very close for that, I don't think. I think we would have to go after the fish people or the Iron Trail. So we'll probably buy some maps and go treasure hunting. It's been pretty awesome getting a lot more up to speed, being able to put on good equipment way faster. And it's kind of refreshing being melee, not having to manage crossbows and ammo and all of that nonsense, or worry about how much damage we're doing to each other. But not having to manage ammo is probably the very best part. That's to me, the biggest downside of crossbows is just managing the ammo, making sure you don't accidentally leave without some. It's bad enough you gotta check food every time. But we'll hit this way station, and then I think the next step, we're strong enough to make a base. So the next step is going to be doing that and getting our own food production going. I don't know if we want to bother getting our own metal production going since it's just readily available in town. It doesn't seem to make a ton of sense to me. It'll be cool though to have a lot of our own stuff up and running, our food production. We'll be able to build right in the middle of the city. We'll leave at least one guy home. Or sorry, not the city. Right in the middle of Oakland's Pride where we can farm whatever we want. Although we could justify building a base in Vane as like an effort to retake and conquer that, take it away from the bug people, and use beak things for our food, just foraging animals. That wouldn't be too bad either. Just trying to make sure everyone's got some medical supplies here. They sell the good med kits and splint kits. So I want to make sure I've got one for everybody. And then the rest we'll just buy to have. We got to be mindful of how much money we keep on hand, though. We don't want to go too crazy. We won't be hiring any more mercenaries. Is there a plastic surgeon here? There he is. Get him his hair back. And of course the idle stance. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix everybody's idle stance at least. That'll be great. He's only got like 1%, looks like a slave. We don't even have walls researched at all? That seems strange to me. And then I don't know what we're going to have that will need power. Because we're just going to be farming. I guess we'd need some for the cooking stove. We could run biofuel with green fruit. Get horse research and all that. Probably have horse buy even more books. Because we want to set up a base soon. That should be something we're doing very soon. We'll make sure we've got enough books for whatever we need to book. Industry. These will all be out of reach. We're not going to do these. These guys are going to get absolutely wrecked. We're not in a big hurry, so we're going to make sure these guys get finished off. We're going to have you switch off of Holy Heavy Armor to Holy Heavy Leg Plates next. We can hold off on buying anything for a second. Dang it, come on. There it goes. No, it doesn't. Okay. It's whatever. We'll drag and drop if we have to. At least it's not bandanas. We do need to be mindful of the time. She's out late. We can't do that. Get out of there. So this is a pretty big open piece of land where we could build a farm. We're not going to be doing any weapon creation here. So we just need a place to put plenty of barracks and a place to have food. We don't have to bother with hydroponics. We really can just set up anywhere out here. Oh yeah. We'd have a large vegetable farm, plenty of wells. This would be the place. And we can have defensive walls. And we'll probably just defend our gate with our fighters. We're not even going to look at... We might do the crazy defensible gate, but... If we did walls, defensive gate... I think 2 is the best we're going to get. Then we have these walls here. What we want is to have the wall working like this. So we build our back gate first. Try to build this straight. At least try to. Not sure how much I like all this, but this is kind of the idea, to put a big zigzag in there. You know, typically people do the V. I had another idea, I just can't remember how I was planning on doing it. But I'll fiddle with the base layout later. I think what we need to do now is go kind of test ourselves against... Wow, the bugs are gonna poop on us. They really are. We can try looking for trouble with bandits. a lot of what we need to do is recruiting. We're going to want to have a ton of excess money, though. We know where the only other bandits are, so we could go try and take them out as well. That unknown tower. But I do think the very biggest next thing is gonna be to build a base and have recruits coming to us and see how that mod really works, along with getting our farming set up. The other benefit to setting up over here, we'll be fairly close to Blister Hill, and we'll be able to just buy a ton of food in bulk from there. But I'm also not convinced we actually need to really build a base. The only downside is we won't have any major way to rest a large group of people if we don't. And it will get expensive trying to keep us fed paying for it. Can't believe that guy picked a fight with us. He's crazy. But we're feeling pretty confident after some of the fights we've had. And now that we've got our really good armor and weapons on, I wouldn't mind going and trying to take out the remaining bandit faction that's still in the border zone. Why are you aimless? What are you out of? Fabric? No. Yeah, it's empty, so grab some armor plating. Like, what do you mean, dude? Maybe it was just a split second that he was aimless? I'm not sure. Where are my other guys? Like, how did we get so separated, guys? Stay together. Rule number 1. Stay together. There's a whole mess of bandits down here we can wipe out. We're not necessarily worried about making sure they get finished off. As long as they get beat down, that's good enough. Eventually we'll get to where our combat stats are so high that they won't be able to do anything but bleed out and die after getting fought by us. You can already see some of them are taking some pretty crazy injuries just from fighting us. Oh, there goes some limbs. Just flying by. This game is brutal. Oh, there goes another one. Oh, man. The injuries are real. Yeah, see, we won't have to worry about finishing them off. If we look at what they're looking at, he's unconscious and lost an arm. Unconscious. Some of them might live, but they're not going to be a threat to us anymore, that's for sure. Oh, looks like there's already people up here fighting. There's dust bandits trying to fight these guys. Oh, there's one of the leaders, too. We'll take him out. He ran away. What a coward. We'll attack this guy then. At least he stood his ground. We'll disarm you. What are your stats? Probably nothing too crazy. Let's get us a righteous 1v1 going. See how we handle her. Oh, well, there's that. Guess it wasn't really much of a 1v1. Who does she have? She does have a bounty with us. So we'll kidnap that one. Go ahead and first aid her. We don't want to take penalties for fighting indoors. We just wanted to get them baited out here. So these guys are in their 20s for attack and defense. They're a little bit stronger than Dust Bandits as far as their stats. Let's get everybody off hold. I feel like there should be another leader here somewhere. Circle, get down here. Why is this so hard for you? I don't see their other leader. There should be another guy out here with a big bounty. There he is. He was up here hiding behind his crossbows. Alright, I think we're just going to turn them in for their bounty. We're not going to worry about taking recruits yet. We still have a long way to go before we have enough armor for a large force. Guys, what are you hoping to gain going back in there? Let's head back, turn these guys in, and we'll go from there. Why does he keep going aimless? Like, why is he not grabbing all of this armor plating that is right there? Frustrating. I guess by taking out the Black Dragon ninjas before making a base, though, we made our lives a lot easier. They won't come here and steal all our food anymore. So we can make a base in peace, have nothing but raptors and bandits to deal with. Because, of course, we are always happy to participate in Prayer Day. Well, so far we're able to kind of run right over anybody that we run into. We've gotten our combat skills up pretty high pretty quickly, and it never hurts having good equipment. Come on, Benji Button, let's see what you got. Not a whole lot. You got 19 attack, man. Land a hit. You gonna run off and fight someone else? You couldn't even hit that guy. He was already stunned. Come on. Oh. Benji, Benji, Benji. You gotta get better, man. Your strength is at 34, but it's coming up. What are you guys after? Yeah, I don't see anything worth fighting down there. We'll finish heading home. Turn these guys in. Boss Tom, you got 3 hours left before you're not an escaped slave. We're almost there. I'm trying to think of who it would be best to try and snatch more recruits from. The Dust Bandits are pretty low level, and the Dragon Ninjas aren't really much better. They just show up with bigger numbers when they raid you. We could head to Bast, force United Cities people to change sides. That could be pretty good. Just have to be careful that who we pick up is actually human. That was annoying. So, who do I turn this guy into if not him? Do I have to go straight to the Inquisitor? It's a pleasure to serve Okran. Because we're at 153,000 cats. I think we're not actually taking... Yeah, we're not actually getting paid for them. We're just doing it as part of our duty. Just doing what Paladins need to do. Cleaning up the border zone and preparing it to be taken back over. So I think next, yeah, we make a base. And we'll want to recruit some Paladins to help protect us while we do that. We're going to need a copy of the Holy Flame. We should have had that all along anyway. We got no intention of using anything but the Paladin's Cross, so we'll sell that. Boss Tom no longer looks like a slave, which is nice. I want to buy some maps, so we are just kind of waiting for this store to open up. We've already capped off our copper. We need to go sell that. Gotta remember to sell the copper. We're just kind of wasting their efforts if we don't. Get some more cheap food. Looks like we're going to have to drag and drop. It's going to be annoying. But that's fine. We still make our money. So basically anything that doesn't come out as Mark III we're selling off. Alright, looks like that's all we had to sell off. So we're going to have plenty of excess weapons. Dude, you have got to stop going aimless. I don't understand. Is the armor stuff too far away? I'm going to have to keep an eye on him. He's being weird for some reason. No, we don't. I just wanted you to haul stuff to it, not try and use it. Okay, looks like we're not going to get many maps here of any kind that are useful, which makes sense. I've got a lot of med kits I can put away right quick. And then we're just going to have to go exploring. I'm hoping putting some armored storage up there will help. Let's go see how we fare against the hivers. I think it's going to be a pretty bad beating that we're going to have to try and escape from, but at this point it might be time to take a few beatings where we hopefully don't get eaten. What's our athletics looking like? 13 miles an hour. That is not good enough. The problem with getting rid of the bug guys is we don't gain much from it, but we would be wanting to get rid of these guys as soon as possible. We'll want to fight on the edge of their territory. We don't want to push in too deep. They're not really hurting us much, even with the armor penetration on their pole arms, but they're going to have the numbers by far. There's a lot of red going on. They attack so fast. That's one of their main advantages they have over us. They attack much faster than us. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty sound defeat. We're outnumbered and we just don't attack fast enough. We're going to have to play dead just to get out of this. Hopefully nobody ends up in the dying situation. We do have pretty good toughness. They should be medicing themselves and staying down. We just got to pick up Trevor and get the hell out of here. So that was a pretty horrible failure. Being outnumbered, and specifically against the Hive, we're going to have to be able to use our weapons at the correct speed to have any hope of doing anything here. We kind of knew that, but it was good to test our strength and see what we're capable of. Unfortunately, we are not capable of wiping out the Hive anytime soon. And a lot of that comes down to just how slow we attack. It's because we aren't good with our weapons, and we're outnumbered with a mod setup that makes being outnumbered really hurt. So we need more numbers and we need better skills. We need to be able to actually use our weapons. We'll head to this rebel base here. Well, they're not going to let us sleep there. They might. But they also might not. We all got beat up pretty good there, but that'll at least be toughness for us. I'm just concerned if we get 2 down and out in a fight out there, we're going to get eaten. That's always the concern there. I'm just doing a quick rest stop, and then we're going to have to try and go looking for some new science. That's what we really want is AI cores. That's our next thing to do other than recruiting and a base. I think at this point we'd be better off making a base, getting a farm set up, and So there's the cost benefit question is in the Holy Nation especially the food is just available. We don't need to do our own food. We'll have enough money to where we don't need to. But is it worth it just having it conveniently already at our home? Is it worth dealing with the food production ourselves? We're already running low on food too. Like everybody's got some, but some of us have less. Not everyone has some, but everyone has a buddy that has food. But like Boss Tom's completely out. This is the main reason why I'm going to want to have a base of my own is the healing up afterwards is way less terrible when you can go and heal all your guys at once. Sons is with the tech hunters. Let's see. Yeah. We need an animal. Let's see if we can purchase a bull. That way we can haul materials back and forth. Random bandit. What I'm also seeing is we do need to get our strength up so that these guys aren't swinging their weapons so slow. Because it's bad enough, the armor's going to do that to us. It's going to give us that combat speed decrease. But we want to still have a high enough strength score that we swing it at least somewhat normal. Because if we can buy a pack bull, we'll be able to get our materials from the city instead of having to grind them up ourselves. Alright, animals. Oh, there's an adult bull. We'll take the 71. What do we name our domesticated bull working for the Holy Nation? The Holy Cow. It's gotta be Holy Cow. That's just the way it is. And he's got a backpack already, so we're good to go. So that means I'm going to basically grab a bunch of building materials and iron plates, whatever we end up needing to build our base. We could use the water to our advantage with our gate, but only so much. This isn't the kind of area where we can have like a big pond for them to swim through. I guess we are going to go ahead and get started on this. Defensive gate 2. And then the defensive wall. We're going to do like this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is all that? What is all that? Come on. What just happened? Okay. Defensive gate. Defensive wall. And I'm just trying to get it straight. That's all I really wanted out of that, was to make sure it's straight. This is going to be annoying trying to get it just built. Just trying to set up the entrance here. Because my thought process is to try and do a double gate system again. I haven't tried this way in a while. Ugh, my mouse double clicking is getting annoying. There we go. And then we've got to do the gate. We're still in the way. We'll confirm that and then back up. Now we need walls, defensive gate. Because what I want to do is put it like here and have it facing that way. It won't let me connect it. That's kind of frustrating. So we can't do a double gate that way. So there's no point in doing one. Although we could come out this way, curve around. Well, does it matter? I think it matters which way the gate's facing. I don't think we want it like this, or they'll be able to just unlock it. We'll just deal with it if it gets crazy. You know, we're pretty good. We're pretty well equipped to fight people. I know how to build and rebuild. We're going to have plenty of materials. Let's not get carried away here. Okay. Confirm that. And we'll just see how this double gate setup works, if it does anything at all. We'll have some mounted crossbows, see if it matters. Kind of like testing stuff out with each playthrough that I do, just finding something I want to test to see if it works. I'm imagining they're just going to walk through that first gate or something's not going to work right, but the idea is there's always some guys that get through the first gate, they just kind of meld through it, and to have a backup gate. We're also going to make our base large from the get-go. We're not going to mess around with no tiny base. Oof, that double click is getting brutal. I'm going to have to replace my mouse, boys. That's getting to be unbearable. Just kind of want to follow the water here. No, we're not cutting out that much of the big flat open area. We'll follow this curve. Why can't we go up there? Are we really not able to include that? Well, we are. Okay, so what's going on here? Yeah, I think that's big enough. We don't need to go too crazy. jeez, come on. We'll just follow the hill there. The ground is very level. Like, what do you... Is this little tiny spot over here? So where can I connect it, you stupid game? Oh boy, game's trying to be difficult. I think that's what the problem is. Why can't I dismantle that? Oh, we got too close to the holy farm, I see. Why does it say this belongs to the holy farm? That's just silly. All that belongs to holy farm. So we're going to want to cut it off like here. No. And then we're going to have to see about clearing that or deleting it. I can just hit delete. Excellent. Because this is just a bug with the game letting us set up a wall that we can't actually build. So we're just going through and deleting the wireframes so it doesn't sit there looking ugly all game. You just hit Shift F12 and it'll open this up to let us get rid of this crap. I was going to have a big old base, but apparently we're too close to the holy farm. But that should do it. So now we can just take our guys, grab some food, and I've been focused in on that. I guarantee our crafters are all jacked up. Yeah, you're just dorking off, doing nothing for no particular reason at all. I've never had so much trouble just getting them to stay crafting. Normally it's when they're trying to put the armor away, they'll get messed up. I don't think I've ever had it be this bad just because the armor plating is down on a lower level. But it could be this extra tall building. Maybe that's the problem. The building just really is that tall. We gotta get you some pants, girl. That's why they're freaking out about you. I'm telling you what. Brecht is aimless. He's probably missing materials too. Yep, out of steel bars. Can't do much for him right now though. Looks like for the most part all we're making is Mark 3s. We're going to have to sell some just to get our money back to keep crafting. Sell off the copper. Brecht is back at it. Zill, you're still just not grabbing that. Oh, we're going to do a save reload. I think he's just messed up. I think he's just discombobulated. I want to get to the point to where, see, there he goes. Now he's crafting. I want to get to the point where he's just going to actually craft all this stuff and I can just leave him going. That's what I want to get to. Just always feels so hard to get there. They don't ever want to just do what they're supposed to do. We do have a lot of pants made up though. Let's go ahead and do heavy armor for a while, and then we'll do boots and helmets. And then we just want to get a bunch of building materials and iron plates put on this cow. Let's get like that. I think that should be good. That'll get us started getting the base going. We're going to have to build a mine and stuff like that. A lot of people have the job of engineer. We don't really want them to start building right away. Space Invader Doggo crashing into here. What are you doing, pup? You're supposed to leave the door shut. You're crazy, Lily. Okay, I guess we will just set everyone to engineer. And we can have him drop these. But then we need... We're gonna need a stone mine. Of course, the 100% is like right where the wall is, just because of how I did it. That's good enough. And then we're gonna need an iron refinery somewhere. Do we even have iron encapsulated in the base? I guess we're probably not gonna do building materials then. We're just gonna buy them. It makes more sense to just buy them. We'll just head back in the morning and grab more materials. I don't even think we have... If we prospect, we got like almost no iron. The one iron is literally right outside the base. The other one is right outside the base. We may have to move the walls around a little. But I also think we can just buy the materials we need. We'll do storage for iron plates and building materials. That way they're not despawning on us. There we go. And we're going to stick to buying a bunch of building materials. I think we'll want to run, we could run our power off of biofuel, but I think we're probably better off just using wind and batteries, like usual. Although the wind and batteries do eat up a lot of real estate. Maybe we should have got a second animal too. I think we'll stop by the farm and buy as many cows as they'll give us, since we're not limited on it anyway. I do know we're gonna need electrical too. We'll hit the farm, see if we can score some more animals to make this a faster process. Alright, he's back to just crafting after that save and reload. That's good. Keep everybody working. He's at 87. Our weapons crafting seems to be going up faster. But we'll buy us a ton of animals so we can go back and forth fewer times with a ton of building materials, iron plates, and electricals. I believe we've done the research to store electricals too. We can't craft them, but we can purchase them and use them. There's the guy. We're literally just taking all your pack bowls. Because why not? And we're just going to call them holy cows. They're just cattle anyway. They're work animals, that's all we really see them as. And this may be overkill, but I'm nowhere near my character limit. and anything to make this back and forth process faster. Do they all have backpacks? They sure do. Okay. We also could use some green fruit. Do you have that? He does. I'll be darned. So we'll take all your green fruit. We're not worried about the rest. All we're going to do is grow our own food, I think. That'll be the only thing we're doing at base. I would have loved to have set up a mining operation here, but it's just faster and easier to craft in the city. And then we need storage for electricals. Which I guess we don't have yet. Horse, what are you doing? Show research. We have to do electrical crafting. Does look like the rest requires ancient science books, and then we won't need skeleton repair beds. We can use advanced cooking and baking. Let's see what we get there. Desert cooking. We want to learn how to make the belts. Oh, prayer day. We are happy to do prayer day. Always happy to do prayer day. Storage electricals. Just doing some rearranging, moving the green fruit over there. I wonder if we can get the walls up right now. So the big question is, do we want to run this place off of biofuel or not? I don't think we need wind generation if we do that. But then we're splitting our food production to go at least partially to fuel. So we'll have to wildly overproduce the actual green fruit. Whereas the wind turbines just work. What does Stack do for theirs? Stack does wind. Yeah, they do wind and batteries. There's no reason not to. So we did research the biofuel, but we probably won't use that. It is crazy seeing how quickly we can get this pulled up once we just have enough materials. So now we just need a ton of building materials, and we need to figure out where we're going to put the wind. I generally like to put it somewhere out of the way. This area is going to be pretty unusable, so will this, so we can probably do it there. Wind generator. It's going to take copper, not electricals, if we don't update that. Why don't we have Soto? Everybody come over here. See what horse has got. I don't know why we don't have wind generator 2, but it looks like we'll have to get copper. That's okay though, we are farming up copper ourselves, even if it's not something we can buy. Prayer day is not for another 4 days, so we're good. We can leave and come back. Hopefully this will be the last, like, back and forth for quite a while. Why is this guy running his mouth to us? Bunch of troublemakers. But we'll be able to use the cows to move stuff around and make multiple other bases as we go to really retake the world. this will be our big base building, like setting up outposts. We won't do a ton of crafting, but all we really end up doing, they set up farms everywhere. So that's what we'll do. We'll set up farms everywhere. Farms and military garrisons. I'm not exactly sure what we'll need the most of. Surely a lot of building materials, but we just gotta play it by ear. We'll focus the most on building materials, though. Take some fuel with us too. Well, no reason to buy that stuff. We're doing wind generators. And then we're gonna need copper. We're running ourselves low on money, but we gotta get this thing built. We also don't need to just mindlessly craft anymore. We're kind of at the point where we're making the armor we need. Let's see what you're doing over here. Let's go ahead and pause. We'll do holy heavy helmets and boots and hope that that won't mess up. Once we get the base built, that's when we'll be able to do some recruiting, and we should be able to do some serious training, at least for strength. The trick is going to be getting the iron in the first place. It's kind of slow going depending on how you do it. But this will be our first big military base that we've set up. We'll grow our numbers here. My strength's already at 50. All this running around with their gear on is giving them a ton of strength training. The lowest we have is like a 31 or a 30. Little Bruno. let's get everybody on jobs. My goodness, my wrist is tired of throwing this stuff on the ground. But this makes it accessible for them. They won't take it out of the bull's backpack. We got plenty of food, which is nice. And then we'll need a food storage just while we're doing construction. We'll start there. That'll give us a decent amount of power. We don't plan on really doing turrets. If we do, that might end up being a problem. Do we have room for ramps, or did I goof? There's room there and there. Okay. Just in case I change my mind. I do want to be able to do ramps. And get up there and do mounted turrets if that's what I decide to do. Brecht is aimless. Let's get him crafting again. And for now, we'll just sell all the swords he had so we can get our money built back up. That still wasn't much. We'll buy 1 stack of steel. Oh, okay, that we were able to at least make back our money that we were going to use to buy. Ah, oh, dang it. Bathing specialist will sell, since we already have that for everybody. And this is going to make us some decent money. Let's see if we can get it to sell directly, because that's getting tedious. Ooh. Oh. Didn't work. Come on. There we go. I think we're going to go back to making full sets now. Let's just sell everything and go back to making full sets. Let's do that. We'll sell everything, make a pretty penny. And then we'll keep crafting. So let's do the Q. Boots, helmet, armor, leg plate. Looks like everything at the base is already built, which is sweet. We shouldn't need a ton of power to run everything we're doing. The gate does seem to work. All the walls are built. Apparently, we've got a guy trapped here. Get out of here. Goober. Alright, we'll pick this up. Defensive wall right here. There are not. Shut up. Get that wall patched. Bruno, Soto, what are you two doing? How? How did you get so far gone? Okay, now the walls are built. We're gonna need a cooking area and a farming area and all sorts of stuff. I think we want our food as far away from the gate as possible. That just makes sense. Farming, we're gonna want large vegetable farms. Well, let's let everybody get over here so we can plot this out easier. Actually, if you guys stay out of the way, we'll get Righteous over here to do it. Farming. So we just want a crazy amount of food production. We're going to hire people or recruit people specifically just to do food. We're going to have like a ton of people producing food. I don't know what the comparison is. I've never built a base without hydroponics. I always just lean on that pretty heavily. So we'll see how this works without it. And then I'm just going to want a well by each of these. And then we're going to need to store the green fruit. And I'm not too worried about this being picture perfect and nice neat rows. It's just a farm. We're not going crazy here, just trying to make it functional. And the wells kind of get closer. It's all kind of at a weird angle, but I can pull the wells back. That's better. Still a little off kilter, but not the end of the world. And then from there, we need buildings that are dedicated to cooking. And we're not going to have the station houses, sadly. So we'll probably do longhouses. And then I'm going to go personally build out the first few farms to make sure they get built right. Okay. So we weren't able to quite build 2 farms up with that, but that's enough to get started. We'll be able to build out the rest by actually getting people to farm. Then I think I can fit. Let's do a building. We'll do another L house. And we'll do it right up against the power here. And that's where we'll store our batteries. That's where we'll put our batteries. What in the world? Oh, buddy. I'll let you out, dude. Crazy ass. So we do have this interesting double gate, but it doesn't it just kind of slows them down. It's not a proper double gate, because what I would need for a proper double gate is there to be a long shooting hallway from the first gate too. So we need more walls out here, and then the outer walls would actually connect down to that. That's what I goofed up. And now that I've built all around it, I'll never be able to fix that. Maybe we'll try this gate shenanigans in another base. But it does seem like it could work, which is interesting. Because if we put... No, those are building out the wrong way. Yeah, we'd want them like that. That may not be too bad. Have a nice V. Yeah, for some reason it let me on this side, but not this side. It's being finicky. But it's something to think about. Nah. I'm honestly surprised it let me build that much of a double gate. We won't really be able to shoot at them while they're at the first part. See, this side, it's connecting it differently. This side I could just do. We'd start here. I wouldn't be able to go that far. And although that looks janky, we'd probably be able to put ramps up. Yeah. And be able to get up there. I wonder how we're doing on building materials. We have been building up a storm. We're actually getting somewhat low. That's interesting. We got prayer day in 2 more days. We'll have dust bandits show up, but we'll just stomp them out. And I don't think we'll have any other factions. We might have Shek randomly come attack us looking for enemies, but I don't think so. Not here. Maybe in the border zone. Because where is our other little sneaky outpost? It's considered in the Iron Valley. So not even really part of the Holy Nation territory. I wonder if we're going to have wind blowing all night. Like if the power just doesn't go away, we don't have to build a giant battery area. That wouldn't be terrible. But even with all of those building materials we bought, it does seem like we're going to need more. Yeah, we really might need more building materials just to finish the base. That's wild. Where did those guys come from? Like, huh? What are you doing here? Go ahead and close that gate. Close that gate. And we are off to stack again. Ooh, I did just get a different idea though. I'll play around with that. I'll probably just load up a different save and play around with my idea, but I do have this idea for just having several different walls. Just have like 2 or 3 different walls around the city, and that's how you do the multiple gate structure. That could do it. That could do it really well. I don't think I'd be able to do it in that small of an area. Maybe when we do a second base, we'll have like a more forward operating base here. I have your jobs turned off. What are you doing? Hope you weren't ditching food. That wouldn't make any sense for you to be ditching food right now. At least building materials are also dirt cheap. I don't think we needed a bunch of iron plates, and we had electricals. We'll stick with just that for now. I knew the bulls might be overkill, but that's okay. We'll eventually need them to have multiple groups that can carry large amounts of material. I think what I could do is set up a double gate base out in this big open area in the United Cities when we push to conquer them. That could make for a very interesting base. Set up just a very defensible gate. Go ahead, Igor. Come and get it. See what you can do. Orsom, come on, man. You're holding up the whole project here. And this probably took me 1/10 of the time to just buy the building materials rather than try and farm them up ourselves. I would have had to have littered the base with stone mines that I just didn't have the spots for anyway. Our funds are getting kind of bouncy though. We're dipping pretty low instead of gradually just going up. I need to buy more stuff. I was gonna say, are you trapped, Circle? Looks like the wells are already good to go. All of the storage is good to go. The cooking houses are coming together. That looks like a gap to me. Man, I shouldn't have deleted that. Okay, it's gonna let me do that one. Good. So what that means is I'll be able to set up turrets that can shoot at that gate, people breaking into that gate, and people breaking into that gate, if I really wanted to. Excellent. And then we should have food enough for everybody for a while. How did those guys get in? Well, we knew we might have to figure this out. With the double gate, things get screwy. Yeah, one of the walls you could just walk through. Let's try connecting, like, well, why not give ourselves an iron resource, right? Nope. All this just to be able to shoot at our gate. Now the question is, if the gates are closed, can we leave the base? The answer appears to be no, which is what we wanted. Okay. Now we've got the farms ready. Let's set up the cooking stations. I haven't seen the power shut off once, so we'll see about the whole battery thing. I'm not going to waste time constructing it if I don't have to. We'll get 3 cooking stoves, each with a ceiling lamp. And then storage. It'll just be tons of food stores. And we'll start with just one cooking house for now. There's no reason to go too crazy on it. Get the cows out of the way. Animals. And if we need them, we'll grab them. Soto, did you get stuck? Somebody help him. Why does that one look different? But yeah, we'll start with the one cookhouse. We've already got such a crazy farm, and we'll just scale it up from there. I think we've still got lots of building materials. Still got lots of iron plates. Still have plenty of electrical. We could just go ahead and keep going. Build the rest of those out. I mean, why not? At this point, I think I'm just getting lazy. But we're going to have a crazy amount of food production because we'll have the people to do it. And this will be our primary base where we have just a ton of food production. And then we have all this open space where we can do so much else. And we can even look at installing another gate just to keep people from messing with our food stuff even more. But I don't think that's necessary. It wouldn't be horrible, though. But we'll have room to put in gigantic barracks, houses, entire areas where we can heal people up and get them rested. So what did we do in here? We did 3 cooking stations and then a bunch of food storage. Ceiling lamp for each one. then food storage out the wazoo. We're not going to go so tightly packed as the first one, so people aren't getting stuck while putting this together. And it's just unnecessary. I don't even want to put it over there. Wait, somebody come back here. Righteous, will take you off so I can use you as my visual guy. Storage, food store. There we go. And I just want to put plenty of space between them so we don't have people getting stuck. That is kind of the worst. Three. 1, 2, 3. Ceiling lamps. And again, I'm not going to worry about it being perfect. Kenshi doesn't offer any kind of geometric snapping, so I don't try too hard to make it perfect. Sometimes I do with my walls because you can eyeball that a little bit, but especially with interiors, I'm not as concerned about it. Keeping Righteous over here was definitely the play. And I'm sorry for the blinking. I don't know why it's doing that where the buildings are blinking in and out. I think it's because I'm not in that building and I'm building stuff in it. But we're almost done here. And now they'll build that, or at least try. We'll check the progress. See what materials we might still need. We'll actually be able to set up a ton of mounted crossbows, which is great. And all they cost is iron plates. And while they're not nearly as effective as harpoons, they don't require all that science, they don't require power. And with this many of them, they should still do the job. Now the key thing here is going to be starting with the farmers and the cooks. Those are going to be the first people we bring out here. And we're just going to have to defend it with our paladins. But I think we'll wrap it up there. I will probably do the recruiting needed just to find people. Well, no, I'm going to be recruiting those people by encouraging them to join us. And maybe that's what we'll turn this into, because it does look like we are not going to need batteries. Wind just keeps going over and over constantly here. This is like the best place to farm and do anything anywhere. So I will probably just pause it once we get the building done, save the game, and then we will check back in this afternoon and do some recruiting. We're going to need farmers. We're going to need cooks. They all have to be human. So we're going to look for some hungry bandits. They're going to love the idea of just having to work and they get food. So I think that's an easy sell. We don't need them to be warriors. We just want them to come in here and farm. We'll actually have to start fully with just farmers first because we want to fill out all of the plots. How many workers can these have? It's probably just one. I've also been kind of neglecting keeping these guys working. I'll have to look into that and make sure I can get them what they need. Make sure we sell our copper. Blister Hill, are you still? He's still crafting, so he's going ham. But yeah, we'll pause it there, and I will maybe get my crafters up and running at most, but and finish the building in the base. But we won't do any recruiting to get our farms up and running and our cooks up and running until we come back this afternoon. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later.